Fishing Time, hosted by Team RT. I'm going to show y'all a couple of techniques on how Crab Claw RT cuts a green trout. You always want to be sure you have a good, nice, sharp knife, and the Acu sharpener is our choice for the most durable knife sharpener. Doesn't take about 3 or 4 licks, and you're good to go. Green trout, freshwater bass. I like to start on the top side, and then I'll run it down the backbone. And I'll shave it around the rib cage. And as you can see, I have my fingers are turned inside out. There's no way that I can get cut. So when you grab your fillet, roll it, and as you can see, I'm rolling it, and my fingers are actually right here, but I'm riding the backbone and going down. And the blade's always going away. And I'll always leave my one side on. I've got my one side shaved up. I won't cut that side off because it'll give me leverage on my other side. And what I'll do is I'll leave it on for right now. And on the other side, I'll go from the tail part. And then, like I said, the knife's always going away. You want to ride that bone. Then you want to go to the other side. And there again, you can see how my fingers are rolled back. And I got leverage with my fist. And as you can see, she's sliced on both sides. So then we'll come back. We got one side. We got two sides, and as you can see, there's not a whole lot of meat left on that bone right there. And then what we'll do is we'll get our skinning pliers. We'll grab it from the tail. And when you skin a fish, let the blade work for you. You don't want to start forcing and cutting and trying to make things, work. Just let the knife work. So what you want to do is just no pressure at all. Very lightly, what you'll do, and she'll skin it right off of there. Just let the blade work. Come back and we'll do it again. Doesn't take a lot of pressure to make sure you skin it correctly. There's a little bitty pin bone that's right there in the middle. Which will make it boneless. I'll show you again. Start from the top. Ride it down. Leave the side on, come back, work the bottom side, the tail side first, coming up. Ride the backbone, ride the rib cage. Both sides. And there again, she's pretty skinned up pretty good. Pair of skinning pliers. Debone. And she's good to go.
What about serrated knives versus the smooth ones or the straight ones that you're using right now?
Well, I'll tell you, a serrated knife is good. It's an excellent point. A serrated knife is good to steak. Like if I wanted to steak this fish, what I would do is a serrated knife's got the, you know, the ribs on the front. It won't be nice and smooth like this. It'll be kind of jagged, and the jagged will cut right through that. You wouldn't want to use a serrated knife to make a fillet, because it would just grind the meat up. It wouldn't be a clean cut. But a serrated knife is definitely good for cut bait and good for steaking fish.
And steaking is cutting it instead of long ways. You cut it in sections.
Steak would be, you know, all the way through on both sides. Like king mackerel, you know, are staked. You know, salmons are staked. You know, a lot of times they'll leave that bone in there, which makes for a good steak. But you always want that knife going away from you. And always get a good grip. You want to be sure you got a good grip so the fish doesn't slip on you. You know, the fish has got a lot of slime on him, so you really want to take your time so you don't cut yourself. Another little trick too, if you don't have any skin and pliers, I'll show you a little trick. Of course, you got to get it started with your fingernail, and then what you'll do is you'll come back and make a little incision on the back part, but not all the way through. So you want to be able to leave just enough room, and what you'll do is use that finger as your pair of pliers. If you don't have a pair of needle nose pliers, just make a little small incision in the back part of the tail, and then that way you can grab a hold of it. Another little trick that'll help you out if you don't have any needle nose pliers. Now here, this is what we have here is a chain pickerel fish. Is what they call it up north. We call it a jackfish down south. And we had a guy that emailed in, and we would have thrown the jackfish back because we didn't think they were real good to eat. And he emailed in and said, shoot, that jackfish is real good to eat. So we kept us a jackfish. So I've never cleaned a jackfish before. So what I would do right here with a fish that I probably didn't know how to clean it, I would conventionally cut the head off, decapitate the head. And then what I would do is I would split the belly down in the middle. And I cut a lot of fish like this. Speckled trout, I would cut my speckled trout this conventional way. And what I would do here, there again, I would get me a good grip, and I would ride that backbone Of course, it's a skinny fish, and I've never cut one before, so I really don't know what to expect. But it does look like good meat, though. And then here I would come back this way. This is where you got to be real careful. This is where you want to kind of, you're trying to break that rib cage bone, and then once you get through, you might have to come back this way with it. I just never cut a jackfish. A lot of times you can leave that skin on right there and hold it as well. The meat looks a little different. I mean, it looks a little bit whiter. I mean, this is the bass right here, and then we've got a chain pickerel fish, which doesn't look like it has a whole lot of meat on it. But we will give it a shot. That's your end result right there. It's about as much as I could get off of it. She's skinned up pretty good.
So you think people may not prefer to either clean or eat one of those because it might be too much bone for too little fillet? Or?
You know what? For me, on my first chain pickerel cutting demonstration, I think it would have to be a bigger fish. You know, this one here is probably maybe about a 1.5 pound, 2 pound fish, which I would probably be more inclined to throw that size back and keep a bigger size. And then you got your last little strip. It's a long skinny strip. So there again, you know, we've got us a nice little mess full of fish. A little fishing trip me and Buzzbait did yesterday over at Big Creek Lake. Those are some techniques up by Crab Claw on how to cut and clean fish. So y'all be sure to tune in every Saturday morning on WJTC UTV 44, 8:30 every Saturday morning, Fishing Time, hosted by Team LRT. We hope you enjoyed the show.